In this example, we're going to look at some data that contains the number of pieces of mail delivered to a school office each day. We're going to calculate the mean, the median. We're going to have to draw a dot plot and a box plot with this as well. So I'm going to use my calculator for this. Now I've already entered the data into list 2. Let me just double check that. There it is. So to calculate the one variable statistics, I'm going to hit the STAT button, and then I'm going to go to edit. Oops, excuse me. I'm going to go to STAT button, the stat button, go right to calculate, and then one variable statistics. And I'll hit second L2. My X bar is 102.8, or about 102.8 if we round. We need to go down to the 5-number summary. So the median here is 98.5. Here we can tell that the mean is a little bit higher than the median. So in this case, the data may or may not be skewed. We'll take a look at what that would look like. To create a dot plot, we're going to need an axis down here. It looks like the lowest score is a 70 and the highest is a 151. So I'll draw this here. We'll make that a 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, oh boy, 130. Oops, that's not a very straight line, is it? Maybe I should use the ruler that I used before. 140 and 150 should do it. We're going to put one at 123, so that would be right here. There's one at 70, one at 90, one at 151, one at 115. You got one at 97, so maybe right in there. We got one at 80, 78, 72, one at 100, 128, I'm just reading off the top here, and then one at 130. So in this case, the dot plot really doesn't show us too much. Let's see if the box plot's a little bit better for this set of data. I'm going to go back to the calculator here, and I'll write down our 5-number summary. The minimum is 70, Q1 is 79, the median would be 98.5, Q3 is 125.5, and the max is 151. So what we need to do is we need to draw a very similar scale to this one on the left-hand side. Might have to squeeze it in a little bit. So this will be 70, maybe we'll make that 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, and 150. To form the box, we're going to look at Q1, which is right here at 79. Q3 is 125.5. So that's over here. So our box is a little bit elongated. The median is 98.5. We're right about there. The left whisker is going to stop at 70. And the right whisker is going to stop at 151. Okay. So I'm noticing right now that there is a slight skew to the right-hand side. We're actually going to have to describe that here in the shape. Also, we can look that majority of the data is over here, and then the outliers over here on the right. So we're going to say skewed right. We always want to say where the skew is towards the outlier. This is the longer tail, or whisker I should say, for the data, and so it's going to be skewed in that direction to the right. The shape of the distribution for this one, it is kind of hard to tell, so I'm going to cheat a little bit here. And I'm going to see if I can't use my calculator to draw a histogram. So there we've got the histogram. We want list 2 though, and I'll hit zoom 9. We'll see what that looks like. So this one seems like it has maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple humps, might be bimodal, or you could even say multimodal. So I'm going to say bimodal here. Can't really get that from the box plot, and the dot plot in this case is kind of garbage, doesn't really look like anything. We're going to calculate the range. The range is the maximum minus the minimum. So the range for this one will be 81. The IQR is Q3 minus Q1. Q3 minus Q1. Let's see, that's going to be 2146.5. We can calculate the upper and lower fences as well. So for the upper fence, we can do Q3, which is 125.5, plus 1.5 times the IQR, which is 46.5. I'll type that here into the calculator. 125.5 plus 1.5 times 46.5, 195.25. No data is above that point, so I think we're okay. We will also do the lower fence, which is going to be the same calculation, but just Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. So we'll see what that looks like. And that'd be 9.5, or 9.25 rather. So 9.25, if we look at the data, none of our data is lower than 9.25 and higher than 195.25. So for this one we would say that there are no outliers. It kind of looks like there's that one over there at 151, but technically it would not be an outlier. For this one we want to look at the mean and the median. What do we notice? We notice the mean is slightly larger than the median. And that makes sense. If we look at the box plot, the right hand side has a little bit longer tail or a skew to the right, or the dot plot, and we can tell. Which graph makes it easier to describe the shape? I'm going to say histogram here. I'm going to cheat a little bit like we did before, and I'm going to say histogram. The dot plot in this case doesn't look like much, and the box plot doesn't give us any information about modality.